Redundancy. There is one problem in our system. There is a redundancy in the server, but our load balancer is now our single point of failure. We add a secondary load balancer. So we do not want to depend on a single server or computer. Why? Because this is considered a single point of failure. Once it fails, the whole system goes down. To solve that, we add a secondary load balancer. In case the primary load balancer dies, then the secondary load balancer becomes the primary, and then all the requests will be handled by it. So we have the clients goes to the load balancers, and we have another one that helps, or a backup, or a secondary, and it does the same thing, right? RAID, redundant array of inexpensive disk. RAID is a technology to create redundancy in databases. Multiple hard drives are used to replicate data, thereby proving redundancy. So basically, the same. We have different standard of RAID 1, RAID 2, RAID and RAID 5 and all that stuff. So basically the data is saved on several hard drive. If one dies, it is restorable from the rest, right? Caching. A cache is a simple key value store, and it should reside as a buffering layer between your application layer and your data storage. Whenever your application wants to read, it first tries to retrieve the data from your cache. Only if data is not present in the cache, then only it tries to get it from the main database. Caching improves application performance by storing portion of the data in memory for low latency access. Low latency means fast access, right? We need databases to access to database is slow, so we use multiple types of caching to make our system faster. Database servers itself does not do caching, so the other entities in between the user and the database. Memcached. It is a server software. What it does is it kept whenever you access in memory. It can run on the same server as the web server, or it can run on a separate machine altogether. Redis, I'm not sure how to pronounce that. It is a data structure server based on NoSQL, which is a key value data store. Data is stored as the value with respect to corresponding key. This data is later retrieved by the use of the key. Redis is used for caching. It is best to store the whole object as one instance, so the data can be accessed in parallel with the data expiration will flush out the whole project. There is a problem since RAM is finite, it's limited, the memory is limited, then the cache will get full, right? The expired project will be removed, so everything that is accessed, then its expiry will be reset. And if there is an object that is not used for some time, it will be deleted, right? So when it has a time, living time, expiration date, after it's over, get cleared out to free up the memory, because the memory is finite, the RAM. Cache is more important when the website that we are designing is more read heavier than write. And here's the read a query, write query, master database, yeah. A complete web server implementation. The summary of the above system. So this system here. The web server of scalable web service is hidden behind a load balancer. The load balancer evenly distributed load across the servers. The user should get the same result from web server regardless which web server is actually serving the request. Therefore, every server should be identical to each other. Servers should not contain any data like session information or user profile. Sessions need to be stored in centralized database, which is accessible to all servers and accessible by all servers. Data can be stored in some external database. Redundancy in the database is provided by RAID technology, maybe RAID 5, right? The database is slow, so we need a cache and memory-based cache like Redis or Memcached. However, the cache has a problem of expiring. When a table changes, then the cache is outdated. For Memcached, there are two options. The first one, we can save queries to database. We can save the whole project so that we will keep us close to web server. And finally, CDN or Content Delivery Network CDN can be used to provide a pre-processed web page. CDN is something like cached. Below diagram will give you a complete picture of the whole system. And here is the whole system, right? Clients, load balancer, web servers, CDN for static content, images, and we have read query, write query, load balancer, read, cached, Redis, and we have master database, right? Master data DB, master database, slave database, MySQL, cache, MySQL, right? And in the next video, we will design a simplified Facebook.